resembling an Israelite, not being treated right, enslaved day and night. Oh, we just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. We like the Israelites still in pain. We just can't go on this way. So send us another Moses again. We just can't go on this way. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Lord, look around, you'll see the Pharaoh mentality ruling universally. Leaders promoting their ego, being a modern Pharaoh, children is the manifesto. We just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. Time to make them oppressors pay. We just can't go on this way. So we children could see their way. We just can't go on this way. Oh, 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 oh. No, 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 no. The poor have to slave night and day for next to nothing pay, so they can't see their way. We don't enjoy equal facility like Pharaoh and company. Brainwashing we say we free. We just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. Time to make them oppressors pay. We just can't go on this way. So the children could see their way. We just can't go on this way. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, we just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. We just can't go on. We just can't go on this way. No, we just can't go on. We just can't go on this way. No, we just can't go on. We just can't go on this way. No, we just can't go on. Oh Lord, why Lord must we suffer like this? You said that you will take care of the poor, just like you did in Egypt. When Pharaoh had the Israelites in bondage, you delivered them. But here again, we are in the same khaki pants. We just can't go on this way. We have those modern Pharaohs who oppress the poor, who represents Israel. They confuse us with so much lie. Not even thinking that we would realize. And if we criticize, we could be ostracized. We don't know who to trust. That's why I say, Lord, please listen to this prayer that comes from the poor. Please send us another Moses again. Oh, we just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. Time to make them oppressors pay. So
get up one morning, your elders have something. You don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon, now you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that eagle eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. Say we get up one morning, independence happening, getting the thing come easy. Now they're taking liberty, but if they know about petition, we are to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon, now you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking. You get it there easy. You got to practice economy. From getting licks from the slave master to become the land owner. Brother, it's a terrible journey, back with plenty brutality. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to rise up, you got to stand up, pick up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. It's so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover, 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 cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover, 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 the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover, cover, cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover my mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, 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 cover me, cover me, cover.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, of course, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the village with yours truly, Professor Warshid and Uncle Tommy, on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Of course, we also always have an interesting program lined up for you, and you will get something out of this program. And this is how we start the thing.
It have our place, WZYE, where they treat you like friends and family. So if you're looking for a place to belong, going WZYE, you could come along. If you have haste, do come with me. We do have dad on WZYE, Santa Meditate.
And of course, that is the man himself. They call him Dr. Love. Of course, let me bring in my partner here, the man himself, the man better known as Uncle Tommy, boy.
Good
Tommy, well,
evening, good evening, good evening. It's a pleasure being in the village as usual, and it's a special day because it's St. Patty's Day.
and what? Paddy's?
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, today's St. Patrick's Day. No, we didn't even know that. We didn't even know that. You don't
Yes.
celebrate that?
Well, I have an uncle who was born on this day, so we used to celebrate his birthday on this day. But he's passed it on and gone to the other side. So God rest his soul and happy former birthday to you, uncle.
Okay. All right. All right. He was born in Trinidad?
Yep,
What was his last name? McNesbitt?
Dixon.
Oh,
My mother's maiden name.
oh, okay, okay, okay. You know, it have people in Trinidad, last name start with MC, right? Or O'Connor. O'Connor is Irish, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Lebon is French.
I think Dixon is an Irish name too, come to think about it.
Eh? You know, I've told this story many times of how I got into Tranquility Government Secondary, right?
Yeah, the name.
Lebon, boy. Lebon. I think I think when they was kind of choosing people, they didn't look at my address, eh? You know what I mean? Because if they look at Schumacher Clavantil building one apartment 2-1, I might have end up in senior comprehensive. But they didn't have senior comprehensive back then, right?
I know in my time it didn't have it. I don't know about your time because you're a lot
Nah,
younger than I am.
I might have end up at progressive or maybe John Donaldson, one of them trade school. Yeah, because when I got late pass too, there's a late pass I get.
Okay.
Did you get a late pass or you get an early pass?
I got the early pass.
Oh, okay.
But it's I met the quick way to the hell to at the end of the country.
But what does it mean? I don't understand, Tommy. What do you mean by you got late pass? Or you got late pass? No, I see. What, what did they mean by so when all my friends already had the school, I didn't have no school. And then all of a sudden,
They
they tell
call
me
you.
I pass for Tranquility Government Secondary. I say,
So to come out,
wait.
it took them a while to make up their mind where they sending you.
Oh, you think that's what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. I ain't gonna argue with that, but it looked like they make up a good mind over it.
Yep.
Yeah, and Tommy boy, I ain't gonna lie to you. The experience at Tranquil was is the first time I went to school, and I will say, Tommy, that I remember a fellow named Brian Wilson. He lived in Prisgala and Lavantil. I think we were the only people that lived in Lavantil that I
That
know
went
of at
that
that
went to
time.
Tranquil.
Yeah, at that point in time. Now, listen, only people that I knew of, there could have been other people, but you know, Tom Phillips was in Tranquil when I was in Tranquil. Remember Tom Phillips?
Who was he again?
He was one of Trinidad. He was a real good football player. He took Tranquil to many intercol, and then
Okay.
he was real good. He was from Belmont.
Remember, I left Trinidad before you even started high school.
Yeah, but Tom used to hang out with us up here in Trin, Jersey and thing. He was around right up here in New Jersey. He lived in New Jersey. So he used to
Well,
come around.
I should know him then.
But you know, Tommy, funny story, eh? Tom Phillip was a god in Tranquil. A god. A god. I ain't lying to you. Everybody, well, let me not say everybody. Most people in Tranquil looked up to Tom Phillip. And I never was able to speak to Tom Phillip in Tranquil. I don't know what it was, being that he was a big star thing, you know. I never spoke with him, right? And then he get, I think as a sort of a, he went to Philly Dickinson University for a football scholarship,
Okay.
right? And I never forget this. We had an indoor meet at Princeton, and FDU had a lot of guys from Trinidad. Ephraim Serret, Richard Ross, um, another fella named Barton. They had plenty fellas from Trinidad for both football and track and
Track
field.
and field.
Yeah. And I remember I saw Tom Phillip in a 60-meter dash. I said, but what Tom doing in this? I never know Tom could run. But anyway, I ain't seen nothing now watching. Tommy boy, everybody say on your marks, set, go. And boy, this Tom Phillip in front, boy. First 5 meters, there's Tom all the way, but I say, yeah, boy. I didn't know Tom was so fast. What is that 60-meter dash, you know? They
Yes.
get to 40, Tom in front. They get to 45, Tom was second. They get to 50, Tom was third. They had 8 people in the race, eh? They get to 51, Tom was fifth. They get to 58, Tom was seventh. And when they get to 60 meters, Tom was
He
dead
was
last.
last. Wow.
So I go over to him. I say, partner, you stop. What happened? You stop for water? Or what?
Oh Lord. You want them to slap you now?
Yeah. He look at me. Like, who the hell? Who the hell is you, boy? You know what I mean? Remember?
Mm,
I never
mm,
talk to Tom Philip in Tranquil. Eh?
mm.
I said, partner, what happened? You stop for water? He look at me. He smiled. He said, what is that one? I said, partner, you and I went to Tranquility Government Secondary School together. I used to go and watch all them intercol game. They break your foot, all kind of thing. You understand? The times you was on crutches, all kind of thing. He said, yeah, boy. You was, I said, yeah. Because when we go to track meets, most of the time Fairleigh Dickinson used to be there and Seton University used to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see each other almost every weekend. And Tommy, from that, Tom Phillip and I became best of friends.
Okay.
Just,
And you gave him some running tips.
yeah, I also gave him some running tips. Yeah, I just help him out. I said, partner, you can't be a big star and only come in last, so you know what I mean? You-
First representing TNT.
yeah, I said, we gotta take our stuff from you and maybe give you Venus or something, because
Okay.
you can't go to a meet and you representing TNT and you finishing last.
In
He
those days,
laughed.
Essex was rating also in those days.
Correct. Yes, Essex with Horace Stewart, Michael Paul, all them fellas and them went to Essex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, them fellas was a little bit before me, maybe about 2 years before me. Even though Paul and I ended up at Seton Hall University for 1 year. Paul transferred from Texas University into Seton Hall University. So he
Okay.
left Essex Community College, went all the way to University of Texas, and then came all the way back to Seton Hall University.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I was surprised when I met those guys at Essex.
you know, Essex at that point, the coach was Richard Ross, was not Richard Ross. His last name was Russ. And Russ used to go to the Caribbean and bring back. He used to recruit a lot from the Caribbean, a lot from Trinidad, Jamaica, a lot from the Caribbean. And the coach currently there now, he also recruits from the Caribbean. A good friend of mine too. But I mean, I get this story. So someone reached out to me from Trinidad and Tobago because his son couldn't get a scholarship because of academics now, right?
Right.
So they reached out to me to say, well, Anselm, could you help us? He can't get into school. I said, all right, don't get nervous. I call up my partner down in Essex Community College. I say, boss, I have a fella here. I think he had run like 46 or 47 for the 400 meters, which was pretty good, right? I said, you could offer him a scholarship. He said, partner, you recommend him.
It's done.
Next day he adjust. I go send him the I-20 form. I go send him the application. I go expedite the thing. So Tommy, I happy now, because I gain a fella, and he was out at 11 till 2, but I ain't gonna call his
Okay.
name. And I put the train in motion, and the coach offered him a full scholarship. Well, Tommy, boy, the father started him and her. He ain't sure if he want to go to that school, and I make sure and I tell them.
You tell him as a
Well,
community, and that's just a start. And once he gets there, he could transfer out.
correct, correct, and it's all kind of thing, and it ended up, Tommy, boy, I lose some stripes because the fella didn't want to go to Essex Community College.
Make it look bad.
Second one, my good friend was the coach at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Another
FDU.
person for a scholarship from Trinidad. I called her up. I said, listen, I have this guy from Trinidad. He's pretty good. Um, could you help him out and give him a scholarship? She said, right, Anselm. He seemed like he had good times and thing. I go offer him a full scholarship. And I called him back. I said, listen, Fairleigh Dickinson offering a full scholarship. And then again, the father get on the thing, and he started to say, well, I ain't sure if he want to go to Fairleigh Dickinson, huh?
Where you
He
want him
might
to
be
go? Princeton?
to me, and because he couldn't get into no school. And Fairleigh Dickinson is Division One. It's not a bad school. It's not
Yeah,
it wasn't one of the top Division One school. But you could go there and get a decent education.
of course. And it's what you put in, you're gonna take out.
Yeah. And Tommy Boy, that's another one that fell through. So now I am very careful because I'm putting my reputation. Oh, I have a third one, Tommy. Another fella, a friend of mine reached out to me and said, boy, and Slim boy, I have this fella. He he can't find a school. Could you help him find a school? I said, all right. I called up the coach at Seton Hall University, Coach John Moon, who is still there today, where I am the
Wow.
assistant coach. I say, Coach, I have this fella from Trinidad. He's a half miler. He run 152 or 153. He can't get in no school. He say, all right, and some go do you a favor. And I even think Coach Moon had sent the I-20 form to him, FedEx.
Hmm.
You know, Tommy, well, that fella decided not to go to Seton Hall. He went to University of New Orleans.
Wow. He chose that over the hall?
Yes, University of New Orleans, Tommy.
Over the hall?
Yes.
He didn't know what he did.
He didn't know, boy. And I tell my partner, I say, boss, I asked you to be sure that the fella wanted to go to that school. And he says, yeah, he wanted to go to the school. And then the last minute, he decided he didn't want to go. I said, all right, what I go do?
Make it
What I
look
go
bad.
do? Many of the times people think that they want to go to some of the best school. They want to go to LSU. They want to go to University of Texas. They want to go to Arkansas. But they don't have that type of times to go to those schools because those schools get the best of the best. You see? And so that's the story there. You know what I mean? So I am all for helping the kids get scholarship because I know a lot of coaches and you know they take my word for it. But I have to be very careful.
Right? You have to be skeptical now.
Yeah. So let's go to the chat. Of
Oh,
course,
yes.
Tommy.
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, I'm smiling from cheek to cheek because the queen, my
Yeah.
princess, the village queen came in first. Princess Nadia Mongol.
There you have it. Nadia says, Ansem, good night to you, blessings. Tommy, good night to you, blessings.
Blessings to you
Daryl
too.
Supersad was up next. Good night to you, Daryl Supersad. Bishram from Fishing Pond, Sandy Grande, boy. Bishram,
Welcome. Welcome, Bishram.
yeah, Bishram, I hear all your problems with that precinct down in Sandy Grande with some
Hmm.
police officers. I want you to take care of that for my Bishram. Yeah? And we're going to play a
It's
video of a young lady. Actually, Tommy, that was the young lady who was on the program the other day
Yep.
with his son in Sandy Grande
Yep.
and the police officer. We have a
Yep.
video of her to play as well. Denise G, welcome. We didn't see Denise G in a little bit.
Welcome, Denise. Where you been? Where you been, princess?
Yeah, Denise, Denise hiding, but Denise in the corner, hiding,
No,
hiding,
she hiding.
hiding.
She was preoccupied. She wasn't hiding.
All right. She was preoccupied. Oh God. Hey, look, we partner Mean Gene come back. Uh, uh,
Hey, Mr. Julian, sir.
yeah, Mean Gene Julian come back, boy. Oh God. Tommy boy, he in full glee now, boy. He get his phone back. Look like
Yeah, boy.
he got the front phone too, you know. That phone look like an iPhone 15 he get, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, but
The, the
Mean
villagers
Gene
getting
Julian,
updates.
I'm telling you, Mean Gene Julian, I want to say congratulations to your wife for giving you that new phone. Hey, hey, did you get that for your birthday, Mean Gene Julian? I feel so, you know. You see, Tommy? Typing
Uh-huh.
twice, typing fast. Fast, fast,
Mm-hmm.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
Highly welcome. Yeah, highly. Blessings and love.
Blessings,
Caribbean
blessings.
Soul. Oh God. Caribbean Soul has something for Caribbean Soul has something for Nadia too, boy. He calls she the lioness. How you gonna call a woman a lion?
A lioness is a
Huh?
female lion, so
Is that female lion?
yes.
Oh, okay. So that would, but it's not a lion kind of Aggressive.
Brave, strong.
Oh, okay, all right. Look, Capitan just come. He say he got a normal pass. He didn't get a pass like Mean Gene Julian.
Okay.
He got a normal pass.
Welcome, Capitan.
Yeah, Capitan boy.
Who's SS Sync LLC?
Oh God, hold on. Caribbean Soul says some of them pay them money get a bus pass, nothing else. You know, I saw that before, you know. No, Tommy, they fill all the places, and the next lower marks below 50% wall get in. That's a late pass. Oh, you hear that, Tommy?
Okay. Okay. So that's SAS Incorporated LLC. SAS Incorporated LLC.
Right, they said it was a tranquil with Tom. 5A SINC LLC. Hey, where are you joining us from? Because he said he was a Tranquil with Tom. He had to know me. I was in Tranquil. I was Tranquil, big track star.
SAS Incorporated.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
prefer
that's five. That's 5AS.
5AS, yeah.
5AS Incorporated LLC. I don't know who that is, but so somebody new. Welcome to the village.
Let's take this one. Miss Ram.
Yeah, how you going?
Good, how are you going?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we hearing you.
You hear they say anything about they holding back on the property tax?
Yeah. Look it up on the screen.
But I hear you mention an important topic like that. You forget.
But no, look it on the screen right there. Notice with the immediate effect, the property tax payment suspended until further notice. This what happened. But look on the screen right there. Look it on the screen. Wait, you looking at?
Let me your glasses now.
All right. Let me send it for you. I go send it by TT Post.
I want it fast, boy.
Yeah. This is spontaneous and truth. It's real. It's not fake news. That's why I put it up there. Yeah, that's why we put it up.
It's the real McCoy.
It's the real McCoy. Tommy, boy. Tommy.
The pushback took effect.
I taken full credit, Tommy. Well, let me say I. We taken full credit.
Because I was gonna tell you you could share some of the credit with me if you want.
That's what I was. Yes, I will share the credit with you. Yes, because Tommy, we started the ball rolling.
Yep.
We started it when nobody wasn't saying anything, and we have the videos to prove it. You know, we have the videos to prove it. I go get them on the 20 videos. Let me just put this up here. I go get them on the 20 videos. You see, Tommy, if people can use this as an example, boy,
how to stand up.
How to stand up, boy. What a beautiful country we will have, boy. Eh? Let me take this one. KFC.
Good night, Mr. Washington. Good night, Mr. Washington. Washington deserve a round of applause, boy.
Bye.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Washington. Good night, Mr. Tommy.
Good night, Mr. KFC.
Just stop the property tax.
Yeah, they stop it with immediate effect.
With immediate effect?
Yes, they stop it with immediate effect. Look the sign. No, look.
Something?
No, because what happened is that people who didn't even send in no form or anything, right? People didn't send in no form. Them get valuation too. Them wasn't even on and they get them valuation. So the whole thing was messed up.
So the whole thing scrapped.
It's
until
scrapped.
for that notice.
Yes, and not only that, there's a great possibility they didn't get the 50% they were supposed to get, and they fudged the numbers. Because they had to get 50% people who actually put in, right, for the property tax. And they might have fudged those numbers too. I glad for the people. And listen to this, KFC. All them poor, black, disadvantaged PNM pensioners who wanted to pay the tax, right? They should be very happy now. They should be happy now.
Now, you feel them happy? Them vex, them want to pay that tax.
You know you're right, you know.
Them will be vex that stop all kind of thing. Or should you get into Apple PNM supporters?
KFC, you're right, you know. I go take that back.
When you watch it, I look to and listen. I go take. Can you recite it? Come on, property tax it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Yeah. Imagine that, Tommy, right? That Tommy.
Yep.
If so, 5AS INC LLC says, was that Tranquil with Tom? What was your real name? 5AS says Tranquil. Family, was that Farley also? Okay. Okay. Was that Fairly? Wait. SINC. What do you mean family? Was that Fairly also? I don't understand that. What? I don't understand what Mean Gene said, huh? What you say?
Wall Street may be a blight.
What does he mean by that? I don't understand that.
He has to explain that one.
I don't understand that one at all. I get him man once that.
What he meant is maybe you're right about taxes.
No. Right, not close to B or close to L.
I feel he just made a mistake.
No, listen. Next to B is V and N, and next to R is E, T, D, and G.
Okay.
So, Tommy, I know you're trying a little thing, but all right, yourself.
I'm trying to cover up for Mean Gene, but I guess it ain't working.
Nah, it ain't working. It ain't working. Patricia, welcome. Patricia Hutchinson, welcome.
Welcome.
Already discussed with Patricia whether she has some love until, right? Yeah, I think I discussed that with you already. Yeah. Takesha, welcome.
Kish, welcome. Good night, my dear. You know you're my other village princess.
But I see Takesha in a picture on the newspapers, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Takesha.
Kish.
Takesha, see the picture, girl. Takesha say hi, and someone told me a fire in Picton, Navantel, where a family of 8, including children, and they lost everything. One of the girls going to Eastern government, she lost all her books. Yeah, we gotta do something with that, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That call for action.
Takesha, when can we get on the program? Organize that first, Takesha. Daryl, you see the picture in the back here? Let me go this way. You see that picture there, Daryl, on the screen? See it back there? That is on the Ministry of Finance door. That picture back there. With immediate effect, the property tax payment suspended until further notice.
I wonder those who pay. Anybody made the payments already? What happens to those?
What do you mean?
If anybody paid their taxes already?
Yeah, but if you paid already, you ain't getting that back.
That's that. It's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yeah, you getting that back. Tommy, if the people of Trinidad and Tobago will listen to us, Trinidad and Tobago will start to be a better place.
They would improve their quality and standard of living.
Plain talk, bad manners. Because we are not going to mislead you, whether you are UNC or you are PNM.
We care about Trinidad and Tobago. That's all we care about. We don't care about red, yellow, green, blue, any damn thing like that. We don't care about that. We just care about what's right and what's fair, what's reasonable.
Yet. Yeah, Takesha. Takesha says, I brought her school shoes and socks and book bag, but she needs stuff if anyone is willing to help. Takesha, put, if you have a number for the young lady or something, put it in the chat. And also we can talk to you off air as well. Okay? And if you can set it up, Takesha, for her to come on the program. You can bring her in on Sunday, on the program on Sunday, so she have a little time. They have a little time you could set it up, right? And talk to us off air. All right. So that's sad. And I saw the Ministry of Social Development, Dana Cox, will will get involved in that. And the representative, the MP, who is the MP for that area? Picton Davenport. I wonder if there's Phil Gerald Hines.
I feel so. Something tells me that.
Yeah. Yeah, KFC. Hello. All right. Yeah, Daryl. Listen. You know, I have a partner, Tommy.
Uh-huh.
A real partner. Yeah, what you just tell me now? But Wall Street, you always talking about that you voted for the PNM in 2050 and 2050.
15.
2015 and 2020, but that is in the past, right? I agree with you. I don't disagree with you, my partner. But I just letting the people know that of all my years on this planet, the only party I voted for is the PNM. And the PNM have failed black people miserably. They have been a failure to black people. Them been in power 75% of the time in Trinidad and Tobago. And in almost every socio-economic statistics, black people are at the bottom of the ladder. Eh? And I supposed to continue to support that. Partner? My partner from my Passy Street. I ain't gonna call your name. But you know who you know who I'm talking about. All them want to talk about Tommy is Kamla. Tommy, I hear, Anderson, welcome. I hear today the pastor with the internet search engine name asks people to call in and tell him what you would like to see the PNM do before the next general election. And remember, Tommy, 70 to 80% of the black people voted for the PNM. Eh? I thought I would hear people calling and say, well, I would like to see the PNM reduce the amount of black people living below the poverty line from 26% to about 20%. Let me go 20%, Tommy, from 26% to 20%. I thought they would have called in and see, I would like to see the black people that are unemployed at 18% be reduced.
What they say?
But I ain't finished yet. I would have thought they would have said that they would like to see 65% of the black people that were killed last year be reduced. I thought they would have said, well, listen, we would like to know that when they give out CAPE scholarships, at least we could get 20% or 30% of black students getting CAPE scholarship. You know, what them call and say, well, you know, the PNM have to come more on the grassroots. They have to come on the ground and talk to people on the ground. And they have to, and I'm like, Tommy, not one economic factor to improve the lives of black people, boy. One? Not one? Oh boy, I was like, yeah, Daryl. We did hear Jumbo the Nuts man passed away.
Yeah, Jumbo went through to the other side.
Yeah.
But Jumbo couldn't be that old.
I ain't sure. How old he
I
was.
didn't see any publishing of his age or anything as such, but I don't know him to be so old.
Yeah, but it is sad. It is sad that you couldn't even call in, right? And give one, Tommy, just one, one issue facing black people under a black prime minister. One. Why is that, Tommy? Why?
Because there are no issues.
There are no issues.
No, there are none.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's very happy.
Everybody living peacefully.
That's
And
right.
happy.
They have happy.
Yeah, they're happy. All right. Full welcome. They're happy.
Good night,
And that's what
Pearl.
it is like, I don't understand, Tommy boy. There is something they put in our DNA in Trinidad, Something, but either they put it in the water because then people don't get a lot of water. So when they get the water has something in it that doesn't make them think clearly.
You unsure or you sure? Which one? You
Unsure.
wall in or you wall out on that?
With the water?
Yeah, as to whether there's something in there.
That's a good one to know, Tommy.
You're saying it jokingly, but it could be much more serious than you want to believe.
Yeah, I'm thinking now. No, yeah, I'm thinking. That's what it is.
Yeah, but that's what I want you to do. Think about what you said, because what you said could be very well what's going on.
Tommy, I go wall in on that one. I go wall in.
I wall in too.
Shh. Yeah, but I'm at the thing there, boy.
Yeah, you sound like you're ranting, but you're talking sense.
That I thought I was ranting, yes? Yeah.
No, you're making good sense.
They said Jumbo was 65.
That's right. I know you couldn't be that old.
But Tommy, so you know what it is, Tommy? So all the rant and rave that we rant and rave and telling the people about property tax, we were 100% correct. 100%.
Of course, it was only a matter of time before they really thought about what we were saying.
And now is the time for the people of Trinidad and Tobago to stand up and tell them, all you can't come back with 3% across the board.
Not only that, you saw the recording of PM saying that they were going to go with commercial first.
Nah, I didn't see that one. You have that? Send it for me.
Let me see if I can find that and send it to you.
They have said that in truth, Tommy?
Somebody, except if it's AI. Let me see if I find it.
I don't remember that one.
Let me see if I find that.
I don't remember that one at all, boy. Yeah, but when we have told the people about property tax, right? And we had a whole expose on property tax. I want you guys to listen to this. Listen to this. This is what, no, we're going to have to play. We have to play it after the top of the hour because we have a guest, Tony Williams, joining us at 8 p.m. You know what, Tommy? Let's go for the break. And when we come back, we're gonna when we finish this interview, we on property tax today. Property tax all the time. Yes, folks. Breaking news out of Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm gonna read for you guys. You see in the back of me right here, right here, right there. With immediate effect, the property tax payment suspended until further notice. And you know what I'm saying too? That alone is an election gimmick too.
That's all it is.
That is a distraction and a gimmick. And I hope the people understand it. Let's go for the break. It's in the village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Walsh.
One of the more content.
WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM. Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to In the Village with your host, with Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM.
What's happening? This your boy Lil John.
Hey, yo, this the Yin Yang Twins.
You're listening to the sounds of...
And we doing it real big with my dog.
In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Yeah! Travis Scott, 21-7.
You're listening to In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
What it do is some baby and we in the mix.
What's up? It's your boy Usher.
What's up, y'all? This is Beyonce.
Yeah, it's your boy Chris Brown right here.
Playing nothing but the best. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
What's up? It's your boy Usher.
What's up, y'all?
And of course, we are back with you. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. According to a poster on the Ministry of Finance, door states with immediate effect, the property tax payment suspended until further notice. Yeah? Property tax payment suspended. Oh God, by them. Oh God. Come here and laugh. Let's take this one. Yeah, KFC. Oh God. KFC, turn on your computer.
Good night, Wall Street.
Yeah.
Good night, Mr. Wall Street.
Yeah.
All that property tax stop until further notice in the EVA election. Like the man we really praying to tell them, oh, you go lost election, stop that. I would have called out oppressing the people.
Yeah. To tell them.
After that fishy there, but when they look into that, they say that stop just so.
Just so they stop. Yeah. But we had to get them credit to stop it, But we know it's an election gimmick too. We happy to stop it. We're happy to stop it, but we know it's an election gimmick. We know it's a gimmick.
And only remember you never support another party, but the PNM, you know the PNM is a real moves,
Why real moves, You know.
Keep the best for last,
You know.
And see, doctor, it's a, yeah.
It have a back room in the PNM and Bali's house with a propaganda machine, Only PNM know about that, That machine, that machine don't use AI, That's a old machine.
What should I see? Just I see the Prime Minister say they're going and turn the soil there.
For them planning the building and
Brian Lara down there. I see Russell Latepi down there.
Another gimmick.
And he kind of
more gimmick. More gimmick.
I'm really saying, Brian Lara is a golf man like himself. And they're looking at the poor golf course there too. When they go and build that. You feel like for people for wrong Lavanti and still that time beat them go get apartment there, right?
Them could afford them apartment. Them can't afford them apartment. This is the truth. If you work in a little CPEP, you could afford one of them apartment.
Well, they're calling it affordable housing that they're building, so we'll see.
It's affordable housing. Tommy, yes, you are absolutely correct. It's affordable to certain people.
One shit, the PNM suffer. You see CPEP workers and European workers. Oh God, but I feel sorry for them, There's work. just work 2 weeks. Wait 2 weeks to get paid. And when they go by the bank, it's disappointment, you know.
Yeah, nah,
You
but
doesn't get paid.
But KFC, you get your kakada?
Yeah, I get my kakada.
Okay,
It's
all
a
right.
carnival.
I get my kakada.
You get a little thing. All right, I'm glad for you. I'm glad for you.
Yeah, but I only really thinking because you know the piano the red tape and blacklist and all.
Victimize you, but
So I
yeah,
take
yeah.
my
Leave that.
victimize. They're good. I get victimized already.
Let me don't go there. Let me leave that alone. Yeah, because they go victimize you.
Well, should I tell you something? Before I really pay, let me tell you, the first time I voted in my life, it was 2010.
Right.
I never used to really follow politics as a young fella. I was 30 years the first time I voted.
Yeah.
And the MP was passing through that man, they call it stop election.
Right.
And a man said, boy, look the MP moving out, look the MP moving there. So I ran out and tell she my problems and thinking. When I tell she my name, she said she never hear a name like that, but she fall in love with my name thinking. When I'm going to tell me come back, she constituency. Yeah, me watch it?
Yeah, we hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when I go to the constituency, yeah, I get a check, $8,000. I put up a nice little play house and thing. Because my mother was my mother was $10,000 in my church by the hardware and George Street and Nelson Street corner. I forget about the hardware and George Street. And by Nelson Street, you know the name of the hardware there?
Nah, I forget.
Williams, yeah. So I built up my little place and thinking, wash it. Somebody walking with the MP there. She's a talk show on 91.9. She go and tell MP that so and so daughter. You know when I go by when I that so and so son. You know when I go on by the MP, boy that woman said that cost me. Go for me, go let Kamla help you.
Oh God.
I tell her, I ain't lying, I put an allegation, I tell her, wash it.
But I the woman on the morning program.
I said, so dready piano, I was like, eh?
I the one who was on the morning program.
She come back to work. She was the secretary for Marlene.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, boy. Oh God.
Yeah. Well, shit, I know the pen was operating as they against the pen and was blacklist here one time. Because I talk show something listening that program there. And they listen who calling and thinking and them victimizing, you know.
Nothing for you, boy. Nothing. Yeah. You know, is Salt Tommy is wind pies or nothing chops, boy.
But anyway, now is the time. People want to just put themselves in place, real bone shine and thing right now, you know.
Yeah,
election, even election, you know. And we're looking like it, I'm looking at you can hit a snap election too, you know, because you want to go down in the Guinness book, you know.
Nah, but I think he calling a snap election.
You go right down?
He going right down. Yeah, he going right down. He going down to the end.
Like that too, you know.
Yeah.
Kamla go right down, I go right down too. Because everything Kamla do the reversion it too, you know.
Yeah, he going down to the end. You fighting to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He dread.
Yeah, bless.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah. All right, let's bring in our guest. Our guest is Tony Williams. Hold on. All right, like the guest. Hey, hold up. All right, hold on. All right, let's bring in our guest, Tony Williams. I put for Tony Williams. He's in is Mustique here, Tony?
Yeah, Mustique. That is part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
You know, you have to tell people where Mustique is, because people in Trinidad, they don't know where Mustique is. And there's a Trinidadian in Mustique, correct?
Trinidadian, born and bred from Sugar City, or used to be Sugar City, St. Madeleine. So the St. Madeleine, Princess Tongue area. All as my roaming place. I've been in St. Vincent now for probably like about 30 years. But
30 years?
About that. And I work on Mustique Island. Mustique is one of the Grenadines, where they say the rich and famous normally holiday. A lot of them have houses and stuff like that down here. So I'm attached to the department now for probably like about 18 years. I'm doing it.
Oh, you end up in St. Vincent?
How?
Yeah. Oh, you end up in St. Vincent from Trinidad.
Well, my wife family is from St. Vincent. She was born in Trinidad. She was also born in Trinidad. So we came up here on a kind of family relations, and then we branched off on our own, and we just continue spreading Trinidad and Tobago name anywhere
Well, you had to tell the people who your wife is because your wife been on our program here a few times. You know what I mean? You just say,
My wife is the famous Paul Williams. I think that's a worldwide name by now.
yeah,
I'm always in the back. I always have her back and try to make her, what she is now. A lot of people wouldn't know about Tony Williams per se, but once you know Paul Williams, they say behind every good man is a good woman. So now behind every good woman must have a good man,
correct is
and
right.
that's where I come in. So I give her the opportunity to go out front and shine, and I just have her back right through.
And she's the go ahead, Tommy.
But there's a Tony Williams who's famous in the steel pan fraternity,
I didn't hear you.
There's a Tony Williams who's famous in the steel pan fraternity.
Not this one, unfortunately. But Tony Williams is a name that is spreading over, and you won't believe when I came to St. Vincent here, the most amount of Williams you could find is in the St. Vincent phone book. And they have thousands of Tonys living over here. So you have to be specific. So this is why my wife said, okay, she's going to push me forward. So when she pushed me forward now, she have my back. And then when you hear about Tony Williams now, it's synonymous with Tony from St. Marlin, Trinidad, better known as Southie, up in St. Vincent, walking Musty. So you can't get tired put up with the Vincent and Tony Williams and them and the Trinidad Tony Williams and them. One special with Paul Williams behind my back.
Yeah, Paul is a powerful young lady, man. No joke.
Yes, she is. She is.
Missy,
And you know what has happened? Once you have somebody strong holding your back, it gives you more power.
correct.
Right? Sometimes even when I speak with her, sometimes she just say, I just have to tell her, girl, the real boasting. But if I hadn't for money, it wouldn't have been so popular.
It was with the Williams, right? It was with the Williams because we are Eric Williams too. We had Eric Williams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's interesting, right? I love Union Island. I've been to Union Island, and I never forget this, boy. We went on a catamaran and we went to Tobago Keys. We went. Did we go to Beckway, boy? Which is the place where they didn't have no lights? They didn't used to have no lights. One of them.
I think that one is probably Myro, one of them.
Myro, yeah. Myro.
Yeah. Beckway is just a small St. Vincent. You normally have travel between Beckway and St. Vincent wholly. You have tons of boats going in and out of St. Vincent, and between St. Vincent and Beckway.
But here now, when I went to Tobago Keys, boy, I never see pristine water like that in no place. None. I was like, man, this is life, boy. Here now, man. I could see the bottom, and I said, boy, this was excellent, boy. That was really. And then
I think the closest you might have gotten to that anyway in Trinidad is between when you go to Tobago and you go out on the glass bottom boat and stuff like that. You would see that's the closest thing you could probably get to that down in Trinidad.
Yeah, boy, that water was that was a wonderful trip, man. I love Union too bad. And let me get this joke, right? Mustique, Denise say it's so beautiful there. Mustique, South boy. That is Denise G. Denise G, I think she from South too. When we went to Union Island for the first time, and I go and take a run, and I think we were staying in, is it Clifton, boy? We were staying
in Clifton, Union Island, yeah.
Right. So we were staying in Clifton, So I decide now I go and take a run. You know what I mean? So I get on the main road and I run in and I reach the airport after.
You reach the end?
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I run in, and then all of a sudden I can't go nowhere further. So I asked somebody, I said, is this the end? They say, yeah, there's the end. But you could go up the road and go up the hill and then come wrong. You know, I was like, wow, that was so
Yeah,
funny.
one big circle, one big circle.
Yeah, one little big circle. That was but that Union Island, but I love that place too, but I love that place too.
Yeah, but you have a lot of people from Union that used to travel to go down to Trinidad. So if you talk to anybody down there, the accent is almost the same as Trinidadians because a lot of their parents would have gone down to Trinidad and they do a lot of trades and things back and forth. So, but it's nice. The whole of the Grenadines is actually a nice place to be, right? Mustique is a place that you need to come and run. Even though it's small, you have to go up and go around 2 hills and then you reach back down again. We have we have about 16 kilometers that you could do some running and thing, you do some trail running and stuff like that. Beautiful place. Beautiful place.
Is that trails and thing too?
Yeah, we have a lot of trails and things over here.
Mr. Williams, let me ask you a question. The last time we had that volcano eruption, did it affect these smaller islands?
No, it didn't affect the smaller islands. It just affected St. Vincent. We were able to see it from the islands, and you would have had a bit of dust and thing, the ash and thing falling on a couple of the trees and stuff like that down here. But it didn't stop. It didn't stop the everyday life or anything like that on the islands.
So here's this question. So all these small islands, which government are they under? Who are they under?
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as far as I know, they're supposed to be under the government in St. Vincent. But I think Barbados and a couple other, there's one Carriacou that shares between St. Vincent and Grenada. And most of the times, if you go through Barbados and you try to book anything through Barbados, they have it as Barbados and the Grenadines. So you would want to think that Barbados has something to do with the Grenadine Islands, but they only share the island in terms of tourism. They would, people would use them as a hub to be able to get in to do a lot of sailing and traveling and things down the Grenadine Islands, but it actually belongs to St. Vincent.
So does Mustique have like MPs, members of parliament in the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Like a representative?
Yeah, yes. So how do you go? They have a Grenadine side that takes care of Mustique would fall under that, Canawan, Beckway, Union Island and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
They have representatives.
Okay. That's interesting.
But the Mustique Island is on a lease. It was sold to one current tenant. He died. He passed away now. And there's a company that formed that is called Mustique Company. So even though they are attached to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are kind of self-governmental imposed of the way that they run the island. It's not like Beckway where you could just jump on a boat and travel and go down there. You have to get permission, security clearance and things to be able to get on the island because, as I say, they're the rich and famous that own lands here. So they try to keep out these sort of negative things that are going on. Once you're on the island, you must be working. There's no idling or anything like that on the island because you have people like Tommy Hilfiger, Brian Adams, and stuff like that. These are some of the people that own houses on the island. So it's like a safe haven for them. So
What's the population? What's the population?
I never really checked it, but it's probably like about 3,000 to 4,000. In terms of workers may probably be about 2,000. And then whenever the guests come on the island, you probably have another 1,000 or 2,000 in between that visit from time to time.
So like, I'll make sure I understand this. And we're going to get to what we actually brought you here to talk about your wellness. But this conversation is going so interesting.
Yeah, it's nice to know a little background of what you're getting yourself into when you get it.
Yeah. So Mustique was sold. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines sold Mustique Island to an individual.
Not Mustique Company. There was there was a family, I think, that actually owned Musty. One of the, I think it was the Hazels or something like that. I could be wrong because I'm from Trinidad. So what I know is some of the things that I would have gathered, as I say, from school picnic. Right? So I might be wrong in certain places. If anybody hear me and they know better, they could correct me. Right? So I stand corrected. It was sold as far as I know to this guy called Colin Tennant. But it's still under the government of St. Vincent. So there's some selling, there's some leasing of the island and stuff like that. But that's as we say here, that's beyond my pay grade.
So I mean, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to Google who owned Mustic. Is how you spell it? Mustique, right?
Yes, that's it.
Mustique. Because we like to share information. Who owned Mustic Island? Who owned Mustic Island? Let's see what we come up with here. Who owned Mustic Island? Oh, here we go. You're correct. All right. So here it is. Mustic Island is owned by Mustic Company, which is a private limited company. The company is in turn owned by the homeowners on the island. The island has around 120 private villas, many of which are available for rent through the Mustic Company. Historically, Mustic was purchased by Colin Tennant from the Hazel family in 1958. He later developed the island into an exclusive resort after forming the Mustic Company in 1968. So, who did she buy it from, boy? So, all right, because I just want to know how, just so. And does Colin Tennant, did he look like you and I?
No. he looked like the other side.
Oh God! just no. I am kind of curious how in the Caribbean. I mean, I heard somewhere that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines at some point in time had sold them the land for maybe $1 or something because nobody wasn't living there. Right? And then they came in and they developed it and make it into what it is today. And only the billionaires or the millionaires frequent. Didn't Oprah Winfrey have something there too? Oprah, no?
No. Oprah, as far as I know, she never had anything on the island.
Oh, okay.
You had people like David Bowie would have passed through here and owned properties on the island and stuff like that already.
Wow, interesting. Eh?
You know, if we looking at lands and sales around this era and this time in our lives, selling it for $1, if that was the case, would sound as if it's way out of our reach, and it doesn't line up with today's market. But during that time, it might have been $1 million, even though it sounds like $1 to us.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean,
but it really was. I think his vision has brought it to what it is now, and there was always people living on the island. There were always people living here on the island. It wasn't as inhabited as it is now, or as we would have think, but there was a lot going on the island, and he just came and he had his vision, and he came and he enhanced it, and he had put a lot of things in place for the actual, what we call, the indigenous people of Musty, and I think it's working out well enough for them. I mean, if they have their own personal visions, they could go a lot further. But of course, being on a small island, growing up on a small island, and living within your means on the island, some people tend to be satisfied with just whatever they have. So I think most of them are satisfied.
So there are indigenous people living on the island.
There's still indigenous people on the island.
So they have houses, apartments. What do they have? What do these
The the company would have provided houses for them. They also provide land for them and their offspring, and they all have their own personal house and little businesses and things that they run on the island. But they're not as much as you would have in Beckway or Union Island and Canawan and stuff like that. It's a very small percent of them on the island right now.
So like they have restaurants and things. It's restaurants and they have local food and that type of thing like that, right?
Yeah, we have areas where we have local food, local restaurant, local hotels, or a little guest house that you could come and you could rent. But the majority of the island is owned by these, as we say, rich and famous, and they have their high upscale clientele that they provide for.
So for a lay person that wants to go to Mystique, what will it cost them a night in a hotel? If you know.
That I'm not sure. There's only one place that actually does that. It's called the View. It's from a young lady that was born at what we would call one of the indigenous people, and she's very good. She provides a proper place to stay. You get meals. You have sometimes function, like for instance today being National Heroes Day. There's a little beach party out there where she would sell, and you could go on and party until when you die. So that's the kind of thing that she does. But everybody else would come and they would stay in the villas. And other than that, local people, if you have families and stuff like that in St. Vincent, or somebody come up from anywhere in the Caribbean, once you have somebody who's working on the island and the apartment that they have is conducive enough for them to bring somebody on the island, then you apply to the security. Once you get your clearance, then they are allowed to come on the island and spend some time with you and then leave.
Okay. So let's get to what we brought you here for. I put health, wellness, and I just put consultant. So talk to us about the activities that you have with respect to this health and wellness. Talk to us about that.
Well, I've been on the island a couple of years before, and then now I'm on the island for probably around 18 years. Right? I'm in the mechanical field, and while here on the island, I realized that we basically have no time for ourselves. We're just here to work, and after work we retire, we go home. And I also found that most of the times when we retire and go home, you would have some people would actually die on the island for some strange reason. They may have some illness, and then something might happen. They may pass away on the island, and then they're shipped off. Or you may retire, and as soon as you retire and you get home, um, there's nothing else, right? And then sometimes a month, 2 months after, you would hear this person that passed away, that person passed away. Or you may hear somebody take in on the island, and then they are shipped off. Like for instance, we had this probably like about 2 weeks ago. One of the main guys on the island, he went home probably for his weekend off, and he had some issues out there. He's actually in Trinidad now. He went through a surgery, and they're waiting to see if he's going to recover or not. So this is some of the things that happen with us here. And then as we get to a certain age, once we can't provide the service that we require, we basically shipped off to St. Vincent, right? In some cases, if you're lucky, you're paid off, you go home, but then you're of no use to yourself, right? We have a lot of people that would come here at age between 18 and probably 21. And you may spend 20, 30, sometimes 40 years on the island. You're away from your family most of the times. So when you get back home, your kids are all grown. Your wife, if you guys still have a relationship, she's there, or else she's gone. And most of the times you're left alone, because when you're here, you provide for yourself. You do everything for yourself. You have 2 homes to maintain. You maintain Mustique, and then you maintain your family back home. And what I realized by looking at these scenarios, I keep telling myself, listen, what is going to happen to us when we get home, and how can we prevent these things from happening to us? Because we are going to get old, whether we like it or not, right? There's no way out. I spoke to someone on Miss Williams' program just this week, and they were explaining about having insurance to be able to take care of you. Unfortunately, insurance stops the minute you stop working, and most of the times you're too old to get new insurance, new health insurance. So you're basically left on your own. If you don't have a family member that would take you in at that particular time and take care of you, then what is going to happen to you? All right. So I use this to head my platform in health and wellness to try to see how best we could preserve our life so that when we retire and we are at home, we can fend for ourselves. All right. Because it don't make sense you get to 60, 67. Well, they have raised it from 60 now to between 65 and 67. So you get home at 67, and then when you get home at 67, you have worked all your life in Mustique or any other place in this world. You've worked all your life. You have drained yourself out. Your family is no longer available. The insurance is no longer available. That income is no longer available. How are you going to survive? Right? And by thinking about how we could make ourselves able to survive around that time is what drove me to be able to create these things that I'm doing. Right? Today we had what we call National Heroes Day. It's a holiday in St. Vincent. And what I do from time to time, it's probably like about 9 years I've been doing it. I would normally bring naturopathic doctors onto the island. Herbal specialists, there's a place in St. Vincent that would come and they would do detox, they would do circulations, they would do testing of your body organs just to see how they function and things like that. So I would bring them from time to time. We would call it National Heroes Day or National Heroes Day weekend. So we would do something from the weekend. Today being Thursday, where we had the walk. In instances, you would have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We could come, we do a seminar. We chat about health and how best we could deal with it. And then you have an opportunity to get any service that is offered in St. Vincent. We get it at half price, just for that period of time. And it has been growing. It has been growing. People have been coming out, and we've been finding out things that are wrong with us that we weren't able to get to find out before with all these different equipment that they have. And also when we go home, depending on where you are in the workforce, you may go home for 5 days, 7 days, 3 days, 4 days, and there's not enough time to work with the family and then still go to see the doctor or go to have one of these tests done. So by them coming on the island, we're able to do it for that weekend. You get your results. If you need any herbs or anything like that, you get it on the spot, as I say, at a reduced cost. And if you have to see them in St. Vincent, then when you go back to St. Vincent, you say, well, okay, I went with Mr. Williams on this day to do this, and then they would still give you the discount. If anybody need herbs or anything like that, once they recommend it, I would call them. We would send the cash, or we would organize. They would send the stuff down to me, and then I could distribute it to anybody that needs it.
So the walk today, I mean, you said it's only how much kilometers you say is Mustique?
It's about 16. Where we go is normally like about 16.
Okay.
But
So
it could be longer because, as I say, it's trails, so you have a lot of ups and downs. You go around on the seaside. You have part inland, part out on the sea, and stuff like that on the seashore.
is there a school on Mustique?
Yes, there's a preschool and a primary school on Mustique. After that, you go to St. Vincent to do your secondary school education.
So you had to have family in St. Vincent then?
Yes. The thing is, most of the people that are on the island are from the Grenadines, either St. Vincent or the Grenadines. So they're just here working. The school doesn't have much students. It's mostly the indigenous people and those depending on your homeowner. If they allow you to have your kids here, probably sometimes you have husband and wife on the island. So once you apply, they will try to see if they could help you and have your kids here at the school. So then when they reach secondary age, they would either be going back home to a family member or something who would take care of them until they get to the age whether they want to come back, and if they're lucky, they are employed with the company also.
Now, someone wants to know if they have, in Trinidad, they have the National Insurance Scheme. Do they have that on the island? Like for
Yes,
workers?
they have. Yes, they have it on the island also.
Also, they have a
It's the
national.
same thing. National Insurance Scheme, all is linked to St. Vincent. So whatever the laws are in St. Vincent, whatever takes place in St. Vincent, it is extended to us now.
No.
So you have basic medical, you have medical insurance, you have your NIS, you have your pension plans and everything like that as a regular company.
Now, with regards to what you do, right? What else do you do other than a walk? Is there any other activities that you do other than the walk?
Yes, I have a wellness program, an exercise program that I actually start, a fitness program I started back in September, November of last year. Before that, I would just go to the gym because there's a gym available for the workers, but there's no program. You go on your own on the afternoons, you form your little groups, and you do workouts. But a lot of the times you have people who would love to exercise, but they are afraid of gyms because everybody thinks that when you go to the gym, you're just going to lift a whole set of weights, you're going to get bulky and stuff like that. So I have created this venture for people who are afraid of gyms or don't want to go to gyms, right? So we use mostly calisthenics, body weight exercises. I also do some work with tires and sledgehammers, and so we do jump ropes and stuff like that. We do hiking once in a while on the island in addition to the walk. We do speed walking. Um, there used to be a couple sporting events that we did during the course of the year. But of course, the people who were in charge, these things have to be, they come from people who love them and people who want to come out and be active. And unfortunately, you don't find much of these people around. So most of the programs that we have, they are kind of watered down or they're no longer there. So I use the opportunity now to fit in and get some of these things back up and running. There were triathlons. I have a one on the beach that we're going to do a raft about. That's going to be introduced this year. We have a couple marathons that we do during the course of the year, and I also started the last 2 years something called the Ultimate Trail Run, where we take people out on the trails. You do a 5K, and then we come and we give prizes.
So
we have people would come from St. Vincent. They would come down and they would take part with us. They have the guests that would come on the island and they would be part of it.
Mr. Williams, how was the COVID experience on that island?
I think the COVID experience here, it was good and bad in some cases, because before COVID we used to have a group of probably about 15 to 20 walkers. Every Sunday we would do this 16-kilometer walk around the island. We would meet at the hard court and we would walk. When COVID came in, everybody started sheltering themselves. So there's a friend of mine, Eddie Nichols, who actually walks with us. We've been walking since 2013 around the island until eventually we got into these things. So we kind of stuck together. And then everybody else, because most of the people were coming from where COVID was really, really rampant. So we would just isolate ourselves and then we kept to ourselves. So the group itself kind of messed up, and then we're now trying to revive it. So with the exercise in the afternoon and these walks that we have on the holiday time, it's kind of like bringing people back together. The good thing about COVID is that when people came here and they were actually trapped on the island, instead of them coming for 2 weeks, we had some of them staying over for 3 weeks, sometimes 6 months. In some cases, people would have spent a year because it was a safe haven. Because of the control of travel in and out of the island, it was more controlled than anywhere else. So a lot of people looked at it as a safe haven, and they were here, they stayed on longer. And then now that COVID has subsided, you have a lot of people, they fell in love with COVID, with the island, and they're here more often because, for instance, today when we had the walk, we would normally have 35, 40 people, right? Because the workers on the island didn't have much thing to do before the Easter break. But now we have had, for the last 2 years, we have had back-to-back guests. The times when we would have sometimes like a 2 months break and then they start up again. It's been going straight through. So from Christmas, there was no break. So most of the workers who would join me on an occasion like today, because the island is filled, you didn't have the kind of turnout that we normally expect.
So so you guys do walking? I mean, hike. I like to try a 5K through some trails, man. I like to try that.
A 5K trail run is great. It's great.
Yeah, no, that sound like a little bit. I mean, I did 5 miles today, and I have to be honest with you, I'm real tired today. Boy. I ain't gonna lie. I did 5 miles today. What I did, boy? I ran 36. What did I run? 36, 21 or something like that. 36 minutes and 21 seconds.
The temperatures were up, so that probably affected you too.
Correct is right, Tommy. Absolutely. The temperature up here was about 80 something degrees. So the pace gets a little faster when it gets warmer.
Yeah,
when it's colder. Does it get cold at night on Mustique, being that it's close to water? It's surrounded by water.
I would think in some places, but most of the time it's warm. At least where I am, and I am. The sea is very close to me.
So all these activities that you're putting on Mustique, right? These are basically, because your health is your wealth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In order to inspire people to try to eat right, do exercise, and these different things, Do you think that you have seen some success in these activities that you have been putting on?
I have. Actually today, after we finished the walk, we would sit and we would talk because we normally have like refreshments and stuff like that. So we get a chance to talk sometimes for like an hour, 2 hours. People would just sit once they're interested in conversations. We sit and we talk. And I have seen some of the ladies that actually joined the fitness class with me. As I said, it's just September, November that I started. And in between that, during the Christmas season, we would cut off because there's definitely no time with the amount of guests that's on the island. So we started back probably around the 9th of January, and it's been fluctuating because, as I say, the island is extremely busy, so they don't have the time to be able to do it. But I try to make myself available every day that I promise them that I will be there, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I make it my business to be there. So if one person come, I walk out with them. If nobody come, I walk out by myself, just to make sure that something is going on at all time. And they were commending each other for the changes that they were starting to see already. And this is something that they're not doing all the time. So we had one of the ladies that did the walk today, and nobody was expecting her to finish. And she did it. We had to wait for her a long time. Luckily for her, I have one of my friends, Ozari Williams, that was down here with us. He does massages and things like that. So he will be doing that tomorrow throughout the weekend for people who want, as we say, to get a little body tune up. Normally comes with me every year. And he was able to coax her and talk with her and have her, do the whole thing. She was so excited when she came back, and she met us there waiting on us. That she came and she sat down there and she started to talk about her experience, and she didn't want to leave. So when you see things like this, and then we have a lot of people who would have discovered that they have illnesses by me bringing the doctors on the island, and they were able to get treated for it, and it has helped. So when I look at it and I see the things that are happening, it gives me a drive to be able to continue to do it a little more. Somebody approached me to work along with the members of the church, the male section of the members of the church, because one of the problems that we keep having too is that we know men don't like to go to the doctors, right? Your wife get a little stick on her finger, the first thing she wants to do is to run to the hospital, to run to the doctor. She has a little belly pain, she doesn't understand what it is, she runs to the doctor. But us men feel that everything that happens to us, we could fight it, we could go over it. And one of the things that we're targeting now is men's health. You know, try to encourage the men to take care of themselves as often as possible, and in the best form, because we have a lot of kids out there and we don't want them. In case of myself, I have my kids, I walk along with them, I take them on hikes, I do a lot of stuff with them. And you know, when you think about how are they going to survive without us? I mean, nobody has control over when they're going to die or not. But at least while we're here, we try to make ourselves as best as possible for them so that they could have a brighter future. And this is one of the reasons why I want to work with the men on the island, because I also say that women would teach their daughters everything that they're supposed to. And we always say that, you know, women are more advanced than men. But it's because their moms are telling them what they're supposed to do all the time. Whereas us as men, we learn everything on the streets. Some little boy tell his son some little story, and somebody else, a big man, meet your son on the road and he tell him something, and he pick it up from here, he pick it up from there. And then when they get to face the reality, they realize that, you know, this is not how it is. This is not what, nobody never taught me what I'm supposed to do. How am I supposed to face these things? So this project is supposed to open up that communication between fathers and sons, or big men and little boys, teaching them the right thing and not things that we would have learned on the street. So that is going to be added to my regime this year, and try to see how best, because I know with having guidance of wise old men, it's going to do a lot for the young generation that is coming up. And hopefully this would be able to take care of some of the crime, the unnecessary crime and violence and things that is out there. That we go on Facebook and we go on all social medias and we see all these things happening, and we think, you know, it's just you snap your finger and you get this and you get that. But having the experience, and as I personally grow older and become wiser, as they say, there's a lot of things that I've seen in my life that I would like to share with the young people that are coming up. And the only way that I could reach them is by reaching out to their fathers and the older heads.
Now, is there a major healthcare facility on the island, or you have to go to the main island, St. Vincent, if there's?
There is a clinic on the island, but if we have any emergencies, they would take care of it here, and then you're shipped off to St. Vincent, where they would do whatever major surgery or anything like that is needed. But we have somebody that is on. We have a clinic that operates basically 8 hours, but then as long as you're on the island, you're always on call. Even in my field, we're on call all the time.
Now, what about, you know, we are all from Trinidad, right? And we understand the crime problem that we have in Trinidad. What about crime and Mustique?
Crime and Mustique is very limited. Very limited, because the security department, and because you need clearance to be on the island, somebody always has to be accountable for you, right? And once they realize that this person is going to cause a problem, you're normally shipped off instantly. So the crime and violence is not as heavy as anywhere else. Just last week we had a little incident. I only heard of it later on after it happened, where 2 guys had a little altercation and one stabbed the other one. And one of the things that they would tell you is that as long as you're fighting or being disrupted, you're going to be sent home, right? So even though you may have guys who, if you go to St. Vincent, you meet them just as they come off the boat and they step on the wharf, you may have them fighting. But in the same light, if they step on the boat, once they get to Mustique, it ceases. So we don't have much problems with that. But unfortunately, in that situation, the guy was stabbed, and it's just because one was giving the other one hard talks, as far as I understand. they had some little chats between one another, and one couldn't take it, and that's it. But those two guys would no longer be working with the company. So anything that goes outside of the scope of what is required of you, then most of the times you're shipped off. So we don't have that amount of things going on the island.
No, for the activities that you do people from St. Vincent and the other islands come to those activities? Or it's strictly for Musty?
From time to time, there are people that would come down, because today being a holiday, for instance, you have members of families that would come on the island, and once that person is active, then they would bring along their spouse or their girlfriend or whatever it is. The one that I do, the ultimate trail run, I do that for the Christmas season. I'm normally given a flight of probably, I think, is about 19 people that I'm allowed to bring from St. Vincent. So people who do like timings, my same friend Ozari, who comes and does massages, and then we would have a couple of people from different organizations, different fitness organizations in St. Vincent. They would come on the island and they would take part in the events. So once I have something and I could prove to the company that is going to do something for the community, then they would facilitate me with getting people from St. Vincent to come on the island and take part in the events.
No, how do people arrive on the island? Is it normally by boat?
Boat or plane. Plane is
Whatever.
probably just about 10 minutes. The boat would take about 2 hours. If you use speedboat, I think speedboat is probably like about 35 minutes or something.
So there's an airport on the island?
Yes, there's a small airport on the island.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, it sounds like big thing, man. it didn't.
Yeah, you have a lot of times people that come to St. Lucia, they would come through St. Lucia. Some would come from St. Vincent, Barbados, or Canawan. You have a lot of jets that land in Canawan, and then they would take a smaller plane and come over to Musty.
So when is your next event that you'll be having?
The next event I would be having is in March, probably around March 10th or something like that. I have a fitness group that I work out with in St. Vincent. They're going to be doing a boat ride coming onto the island. And then when they get here, we're going to do a walk. We're going to do the same walk in reverse.
Like 16 kilometers walk?
Yes. They tried it last year, and a lot of them couldn't make it because they came and they were telling me that, they're fit. They would walk out almost every day. You have who would be running on the roads and stuff like that. But then when they came here and they realized that the trails and them that we use and the way how it's designed and all that, a lot of them dropped out. Like halfway they came back off the trail. So they're coming this year now to see if they could do the whole thing.
I have to be honest with you. I remember one time my wife goes walking. Well, she goes walking, or she used to go walking every morning. And one weekend, them just go and walk like about 10 miles. So I pick up my fast self and I go and walk with them. Right? Partner, when I come back home, I finish that walk, I sleep like a baby boy. I haven't gone back and walk with them since.
A lot of the times when people are doing things, especially if we come from sporting backgrounds, right? If you lift weights, like I had one guy, we used to do a obstacle race around Christmas time. We had this guy who used to do it, and we have this big strong guy that works out in the gym, and he claimed that he was the healthiest guy on the island, right? So we were always inviting him, come and take part in the race, come and take part in the race. And one day he decided that he was going to take part in the race. I had a slight injury while I was training, just about 2 weeks before the event. 5 minutes into my training, just before I end my training, one of my knees started giving me some problems. So I had it band up. I went to the clinic. They sorted me out, and for the 2 weeks before the race, it started feeling better just before the race. So I decided, I said, listen, I'm going to ban my and I'm going to take part in the race. I have a little grandson, and he was in the race. So this big strong guy, he decided, okay, he would go in the race, and so my grandson, he always interfered with my grandson when my grandson passing in the road and things like that. So my grandson went off, he went with his friends, and he was out front. I was kind of hopping along with my foot behind. When we did probably about 15 minutes into the trail run, the race, I met the guy just lie down on the grass, and he was stretched out like that. So I passed and I said, man, what happened to you? Come on, man, let's go. I said, man, I can't go nowhere again. I said, what do you can't make? I said, let's go. I said, look at my foot, and I still going. He said, nah, you can't make it, definitely. I said, here, what's happening with you? You wouldn't like my grandson to meet you tomorrow and talk to you concerning you dropping out of the race. With that, he just get up one time.
And he gone.
And he take off and he go, and he said, because I know your grandson and I can't take no talk from him. And he did it. But just to show you that, a lot of the times you're talking to people and they tell you they're healthy because they could run this and they could do that. But then when you change their environment, you realize that you see somebody walking on the road every day and you try to walk with them, even though you might be running as fast as a bullet. You try walking with them on the terrain that you go, and you realize that you're no match for them.
It's a big difference, man.
Right.
That 10-mile walk them carry me on there, and them want to go up one set of hills and things too, eh? I say, boy, I get back home and say, Ollie, I accustomed to running and finishing kind of quick, eh? You know what I mean? And them walking and them talking and them watching this and that. I say, all right, Ollie, not me, nah. I had it after. I ain't back and walk with them.
One of the things that I also do is I try to encourage everybody to exercise. It doesn't matter how slow you walk, how fast you walk, if you're running, if you're going to the gym, if you're swimming, but do something. Keep yourself mobile. A lot of people are scared to come to any event that I have because they think that I would walk fast and I would leave them, but I don't. I may leave you on part of the trail just to take a run and build a sweat and then come back. I would normally come back and I will do photos. I will come back and chat, just make sure that you're all right, because I would like you to come the next time. Right? So I'm not going to show myself on you and then you don't like it and you choose not to come with me because you weren't satisfied. I try to make you comfortable. I try to, even when we're doing the workouts, you would come, you would do 10 push-ups now, and then next week you come and you want to do 30 push-ups. I said no. If you could do 5 push-ups, make sure you do it and make sure you have your form right. You get that done. If you do 5 and then you quit, do the 5. Make sure you do 5 proper push-ups. If you're doing jumping jacks and you can't jump because the last time you jumped would have been in primary school 15, 20 years ago, then do 2. Once you get your technique right, and come next week, right? Don't just do it this week and then say, oh, Tony walking me out too hard and don't come. If I'm walking you out hard, tell me. Let me encourage you until you get to the point where you feel that, boy, I could go as fast as Tony, or I could go as fast as this person, right? A lot of the times people are embarrassed of the shape or the form that they would make when they're actually doing the exercise. So I try to make them as comfortable as possible, because I would like to know that when we leave Mustique and we go home, that we have a couple of years still that we could rely on each other and say, well, when I was in Mustique, this is what was happening. Or I could call you as a buddy and say, listen, you need to come out and do some exercise. You need to try and get moving, because you have a lot of the women here, they sit in the office whole day, and then from that, you go home, you eat, you sleep, and then it's back to work. So just having that little exercise in between helps to break the stress and things like that, and prolong your life.
Tony, I gotta admit, this was really an excellent discussion, and you shared information with me, at least with me, and I know Tommy too, that we didn't know about, and we didn't bring you here to talk about that, but we end up talking about that. So in the next minute or so we have left, any closing words, any shout out you want us? Not shout out. We don't send shout outs. We just send it's Wall Street and Tommy. We just send Tom out or Wall out.
Or wall out.
Yeah,
Or
wall
tone
out.
out.
But I probably have to send a thumb wall out.
No, you might
First
understand.
A tone out.
You understand a pull out.
I was not going to say that the first thing and the first post I have to pay respect to is Miss Paul Williams. You know, because up to this afternoon she telling me, you send out the link to everybody so that they could look at it. I said, no, relax yourself. Let me see how it goes, and then I would send it and share it. And she said, no, you need to put yourself out there because you know you're always doing a lot of things and nobody know about you. Because we also have a mass band in St. Vincent, Beautex International. We do Miss Plus Size Universe, that pageant, and everybody would know Miss Williams associate with these things. So she said, no, this time is time for you to come out and go and do something and let me push you and let me try. So I have to say shout out to Miss Williams. A lot of the things that I'm into, even being here in Mustique, being here in St. Vincent, is because of her. The things that I would have achieved in life and the drive that I have to do the things that I'm doing is all because of her. So as I say, behind every good man is a good woman, and behind every good woman is a good man. All right. So I'd just like to say good night to you, Wall Street. Good night to you, Uncle Tommy.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me on this program. And I hope with the feedback that we would get and the encouragement that I would continue to get from Miss Williams, that you guys could see me another time. And I'm looking forward to see you in Mustique whenever we have one of these trail runs. Go along with your wife, get some of that 10-mile in, see how best you could walk with them, and then come down and meet me and let's do something.
All right, let me see this.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. The internet decided to go bad on us. Yeah. That was excellent. That was excellent. Yeah. Let me go for the break. We'll be right back after the break. And when we come back, we're talking property tax. Folks, stick and stay. It's in the village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM. And Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to In the Village with your host, with Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, what's up? This is Ludacris.
What's up, y'all? This is Nicki Minaj.
You're rocking with the best. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
What's up? It's your boy Usher.
What's up, y'all? This is Beyonce.
Yeah, it's your boy Chris Brown right here.
Playing nothing but the best. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Hey, this is Lady Gaga. Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
You're live in the mix with the one and only.
Hey, this is Justin Timberlake, and this is
In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
And of course, we are back with you. It's In the Village with yours truly, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Tommy, you ever went to Union Island? St. Vincent?
No, I haven't gotten there yet, but I hope to get there soon enough.
Yeah. Paul, thank you very much. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, boss. I've been to Union Island twice, boy. St. Vincent, I think twice, eh? And every time I go, it's very small, eh? Tommy, I never forget this, right? One day, we were in Union Island, and my son, Malcolm, was about, how old Malcolm was about? Maybe 5 or 6 years of age. Young chap. And we were walking down the road. You know they say in the Trinidad you're walking down the road.
Right.
And there was some cows crossing the street, right? And I know I give this story already, but the story is like, and Malcolm was like, Dad, Dad, what Dad, what's going on here? Dad, this is unbelievable, Dad. You he was like,
5 year old.
yeah, he's like, how could they have these cows just walking in the streets? It, this is something is wrong with this. I was like, Malcolm, this is the Caribbean, and this is the way it's done in the Caribbean. He says, Dad, nah, something is wrong. And I'm like, yo, just relax, man. You be all right. You be all right. You know? Ah, yeah, boy. Cow crossed in the street, boy, in Union Island. Boy.
Probably ain't no cars
Yeah,
either.
and you know another place too, Tommy? Um, British Virgin Islands, BVI.
Yeah,
You ever
BVI.
been there?
Not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
Tortola. They call it Tortola. Tommy. I. And listen to this, eh? In Tortola, when we were in Tortola, there was ration water. So when you had to take a shower, there was a time limit on your shower. So you know, you had to jump in, soap and jump out.
Is that
Because of the water
is
problem.
is that one of the countries where everybody has a tank in their basement? The basement's made into
Something
a
like
water
that.
tank.
Something like there's a tank somewhere. I don't know if it's yeah, there's a tank. I don't remember where the tank was, but there's a tank. But Tommy, as you say that, before we get to property tax, Tommy, I want to believe, and this is something that you may have to look at as well. I want to believe, Tommy, that them black plastic water tanks,
Mm-hmm.
that there might be seepages from those tanks from that hot sun
They
that
might be
might be
what?
seeping into the water. Huh?
From the plastic.
The plastic, yes. You know when they talk about plastic bottles with water, if you leave it
Yes.
out in the sun,
Yes.
there is some seepage from the plastic. I forget what they call it. Something that comes from the plastic into the water.
Impurities.
Correct. So I am asking myself, Tommy, is there a possibility of that happening? What do they make these water tanks, these plastic water tanks with? What type of materials?
Yeah, and you're making a very good point. A very good point. I saw something in construction in Brazil that I did with my construction in Trinidad. I see they build. They don't have the same kind of tanks we do. They, of course, they have, Brazilian made product. But what they do is when they build their houses, in the ceiling, they make room for their water storage.
Wow. Collecting rainwater.
No. Regular water from the lines from the water system water.
And where does the water go?
They they have tanks, but the tanks are hidden. You don't see you can't see the tanks. The tanks are in the ceiling.
Oh, okay. But it's still plastic.
I don't know if that material is the same material as in Trinidad, because it's designed. The tanks were designed differently.
Okay.
They were designed to fit in a roof, so they weren't as bulky. I'll say they were more flat. But I set up my ceiling, my roof in my house in Trinidad and I placed 2 water tanks in there. Just because I saw what was being done in Brazil, I said, at least no one can put anything, that would violate my water.
Any nefarious activities, so to speak.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Nobody could drop something in my tank because they trying to evade the police or even trying to hurt me or my family.
Right. Tommy, I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna do an editorial on that because I'm concerned that there could be some things happening in Trinidad and Tobago that we are unaware of due to all these plastic water tanks.
I'm wondering if they do any adequate testing on that for quality control.
That's a great point.
What we need to do is check with Kariri and find out if they do any testing, because the building product that I introduced to Trinidad, we introduced to Trinidad. I took the product to Kariri myself in person and had to get results on the strength of the product and so on, because I was required by my employer, if you want to call it that, or my contractee. That's the right word, contractee. Who contracts you? You're the contractee. Contractor. I'm the contractor, and the person that I'm
so you're the contractor. Well, they could call him the contractee, right? But when I left Trinidad, we didn't have no water tank.
Neither did I. No, they weren't water tanks. People had drums, these drums that they collected rainwater in.
Right. Yeah. And listen, all of these houses, they can collect rainwater. I know people in this country that collect rainwater and wet their lawn with that rainwater.
Yeah.
Especially in the summertime.
One of my brothers harvests a lot of rainwater for his farm and for his house. And he has these tanks. He has quite a few of these tanks. He must have
go ahead.
I think he must have about 5,000 gallon tanks and that kind of thing in each facility, in 2 locations.
There we go. So Tommy, I want to start with an editorial I did on property tax, and I told the people about the parlor property tax, and people laugh at me. Oh, I just this. I want you all to listen to this. Let me go back here. I want to say something to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to talk to you guys about property tax, and commercial property tax. And to the people of Laventille and environs and in the urban areas in Trinidad and Tobago, if you have a parlor, if you have put a parlor on your property, on your property, or if you make the downstairs of your house a parlor, you will be taxed as commercial property. Let me repeat that. If you have a parlor in your yard that you put up, that is not going to be taxed based on the annual rental value. That is a separate tax. It's going to be taxed as a commercial property. So when you hear them talking about it's only 3% tax, it's only 3% tax. If you have a parlor
All you know them people in Lavantil and environs, may have a little parlor they put at the bottom of the house, right? Certain parts going to be taxed based on the annual rental value, and the parlor going to be taxed as a commercial property. Folks, always stop being fooled, you know. Stop being fooled. All you go get taxing all your puffing. And listen, I am not against property tax. I am against the 3% annual rental value across the board for everybody. Poor people shouldn't be paying 3% of annual rental value. Right? It's annual rental value. They should not be paying 3% of that. And if I have a parlor, they're coming for you with property tax. And they're going to tax it as a commercial property.
I'm part of.
So, Tommy, that was an editorial that I did, right?
I remember that.
We were warning. Yeah, we were warning the people. You know, we did this on this program here.
That's correct.
We were warning the people. But listen to the Prime Minister on property tax. Listen to this.
We are bringing back property tax. Yes, we told you so, because we agree that if you have property, it is reasonable in our society to be expected to pay a tax so as to be serviced. We have no fear of a tax on property. We told you so.
Last question, please.
Ria Rampoli, CNC3. One of the more contentious issues in the last general election was that of the property tax. Where in the PNM's manifesto is this addressed?
It's not in the document. This is one of the things we need to talk to people about.
Let me take that one. I'm glad you raised that. I heard a UNC minister, I think it was the famous Prakash Ramadan, telling people that the PNM will bring back the dreaded property tax. Let me make it abundantly clear. The property tax has already been dealt with. So for anybody in the government now to be telling the population that this PNM coming into office will bring back that tax is the highest level of dishonesty, which has been the hallmark of this UNC government.
We are bringing back property tax. Yes, we told you so.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Yeah, you saw what I sent you too. That and even it went a little further.
Yeah, let me see that one. Let me see. I just play the audio for that one. Hold on. Tommy boy. Hold on. Let me get this here. Okay, hold on. All right, let's play that one. Hold on.
Police CNC3, one of the more contentious issues in the last general election was that of the property tax. Where in the PNM's manifesto is this addressed?
It's not in the document. This is one of the things we need to talk to people about.
Let me take that one. I'm glad you raised that. I heard a UNC minister, I think it was the famous Prakash Ramadan, telling people that the PNM will bring back the dreaded property tax. Let me make it abundantly
So Tommy,
what happened?
No, I did it. I just wanted to let the people see the background. So Tommy, they were saying that the UNC was going to tax commercial first. Isn't that what I heard? And then agriculture and then residential. Is that what I heard?
Yep.
So the PNM changed that then.
Exactly.
So the PNM.
That's why I was thinking you would have played that part. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, no, but then I played that part. I didn't hear that part. I didn't hear the part with the commercial, agriculture, and then residential.
It didn't play when you just played it. It didn't play on
yours.
No.
Yeah, I played it. No. You didn't hear it because you was off. I wanted to play the background. You didn't hear it, but the people heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't hear it because I removed it from the screen because I wanted to leave the background so people could see the property tax was suspended.
Right.
Right. But Tommy, there is more, you know. There is more. Listen to an economist talked about property.
The finance minister announced that government is preparing for the property tax as he piloted the valuation of Land Amendment Bill 2023 in the Parliament on Wednesday. This bill disaggregates the country's properties into residential, commercial, industrial and agricultural classes. Speaking with TV6 on Friday, economist Dr. Indira Sajiwan says she has no problem with the tax, but she has some questions about implementation.
So the issue is not whether, there are two issues for me. It is not whether we shouldn't be paying. Yes, we should pay property tax. The issue is the timing of introducing this property tax at this point in time. Is it something that the people of this country can afford? I am saying the timing is off. Secondly, the way in which it is calculated, I think a lot more needs to be done to clarify that so people can feel a sense that the mechanism that is being used is fair and equitable across the board.
According to the finance minister, with property tax at 3% of the property's rental value to find the latter, a valuer would examine factors like the property market, the property condition and location, as well as the land on which the property is built. However, Dr. Sajiwan tells us there must be a proper formula for determining property tax.
The rental contract between a private individual and a tenant is not required to be lodged formally in any government institution. So that is the first fly in the ointment. You know, yes, he has gotten the number that he wants, but how is that translating into determining the rental value of the property? And I do not think that that has really been arrived at in any mechanism that is fair. And in my view, Urvashi, this opens up an entire can of worms for corruption to take place.
Speaking with today's Morning Edition host, Urvashi Tiwari Rupnarain, Dr. Sajiwan also noted that the minister said the property tax would bring Trinidad and Tobago on par with international countries.
That I take umbrage with is the minister trying to justify that, property tax is going to bring us into what's the term he used?
The modern era.
Into the modern era, and he cites the United States and the United Kingdom, and he attempts to quote the tax that they are paying, and says, okay, that justifies us. Now we should be grateful almost because we are paying less. But I mean, the minister failed to compare what citizens of the United States and the UK get for the property tax that they pay.
Ultimately, she says, yes, the property tax is something the population must accept, but there is more work to be done to make the process of collection and spending less ambiguous. Nicole M. Romani, TV6 News.
So you see, there you have it, Tommy. But there's more, Tommy. I mean, Tommy, we did so much on this, so much, you know. Here's another one.
Why should the government of Trinidad and Tobago have prioritized implementing property taxes on commercial properties before residential ones? Property tax is a tax levied on the value of land and buildings, which can be used by the government to fund public services and infrastructure. Property tax can be applied to different types of properties, such as residential, commercial, industrial, and agricultural. The rate of property tax and the method of valuation may vary depending on the type of property and the jurisdiction. In Trinidad and Tobago, the government has announced its intention to collect property tax from all types of properties, based on the annual rental value of the land, which is determined by the Commissioner of Valuations. The annual rental value is the amount of rent that the property would fetch on the open market if it were put up for rent. The rate of property tax for residential land is 3% of the annual rental value, while the rate for commercial land is 5%. Some possible arguments for why it is better to put property tax on commercial property first rather than residential property are: commercial property owners are more likely to have higher income and wealth than residential property owners, and therefore have a greater ability to pay the tax. Taxing commercial property first would be more progressive and equitable, as it would reduce the tax burden on low-income and vulnerable households. Commercial property owners can pass on some or all of the tax to their tenants, customers, or suppliers, depending on the market conditions and the elasticity of demand and supply. This means that the tax incidence would not fall entirely on the owners, but would be shared by other economic agents. Residential property owners, on the other hand, may not be able to shift the tax to anyone else, and would have to bear the full cost of the tax. Commercial property owners can benefit more from the public services and infrastructure that are funded by the property tax, such as roads, utilities, security, and education. These services can enhance the productivity, profitability, and competitiveness of their businesses, and therefore increase their returns on investment. Residential property owners may not derive the same level of benefits from these services, and may have other pressing needs and preferences for their income. Commercial property owners may have more incentives and opportunities to evade or avoid the tax, by underreporting or misreporting their rental income, or by using complex legal structures and transactions to conceal their ownership. Residential property owners may have less scope and motivation to engage in such practices, and may be more compliant with the tax laws and regulations. Taxing commercial property first would therefore increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the tax administration and collection. These are some of the possible arguments that could be made for why it is better to put property tax on commercial property first rather than residential property in Trinidad and Tobago. However, there may also be counter-arguments and trade-offs that need to be considered, such as the impact of the tax on the business climate, the economic growth, and the social welfare of the country. Ultimately, the optimal design and implementation of the property tax would depend on the objectives, constraints, and preferences of the government and the society.
There it is.
There it is. But there is more. There is more. We have done extensive research
and analysis.
There we go, Tommy. There we go. But Tommy, you remember when we told the people the property tax wasn't 2%? 2.7%?
2.7%.
Listen to the Minister of Finance in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
The Finance Minister Colm Imbird confirmed at Tuesday's Senate debate that the property tax becomes applicable on January 1st, 2024. Minister Imbird told senators that no notices of property tax have so far been sent out.
Persons would have seen notices going out from the Valuation Division. When the notices first went out, there was a lot of confusion and misinformation, deliberate misinformation, where persons were led to believe that the notice of valuation was a notice of property tax. It is not. You have to take the value, the annual rental value, and multiply it by 2.7%, which is 90% of 3%.
The minister went on to say that if citizens believe they have been assessed improperly, a complaint system is established as part of the law.
I have people from Federation Park telling me that they can't rent their properties for more than 10,000 a month, and they get a valuation of 20,000 a month. It can't be right. They're going to challenge it legally in the courts. It's all right. There will be improper valuations, incorrect valuation. I have no doubt. You know, this is a new system. There will be valuations that make no sense, and that is why we have a challenge process in place. That if you are of the view that your valuation is incorrect, you can challenge it, and you can provide evidence that the valuation is nonsensical.
He says that people unable to pay the tax, for instance a pensioner, can make a case for deferral of the payment. The property tax, however, will come due once the situation changes. Say, for example, the pensioner passes on and wills the property to a child or any other beneficiary.
Now, Tommy, I have been told that there are people who didn't fill out no form for property tax. Nothing, none, zero, naught, duck. So they can be counted in the 50% that they needed in order to bring this to law or legislation or whatever they have to do with it, right? They needed 50% of the people. There are people who didn't fill out anything and they're getting an evaluation, Tommy. Think about it, Tommy. If you ain't fill out nothing, right? You are not part of the 50%. Or are they saying that even though you don't fill out anything, you're still getting a valuation?
But didn't they send people out in the field who just taking a look from the outside and making an assessment, assessors or whatever they call them?
Tommy, I'm telling you, yeah, they send them out. But when they send them out, they didn't say if that person fill out a form or if that person fill out a form. They just send them out and say, all right, go up this place, assess these people up there.
That's right.
That is it. We have to assess them, just go and assess them. Right? If they get over-assessed, if your house bigger than mine's, you know, this is real madness, you know, Tommy.
Well, that was inevitable, for the mere reason that the method that was employed was flawed.
Totally flawed. And Tommy, we even came here. Hello, caller, welcome.
Hello.
Caller?
Yes, how are you?
Where are you calling from?
I am calling because I have a question for Marshall.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Marshall, I'm a piano player as well. What kind of piano is that?
Oh, you're a pianist?
He asked if he's a pianist. All right, that was a strange one.
He's changing the focus.
That must be a PNM person. I thought he said he's a PNMist, you know.
I thought it was a PNM he was talking about, but then I realized it's the piano he's talking about.
I thought he said he was a PNMist, you know. Oh God. Yeah, Tommy. So it just never made sense. Yeah? And we even try to help them when we did even more research, Tommy, and we came up with this.
Pierce County has recently expanded the ability for low-income seniors and people with disabilities to receive a reduction on their property taxes. For Pierce County residents living on fixed incomes, paying for rising property taxes can be intimidating. Some must make tough financial decisions about which utilities they can afford that month, while others face food insecurity. That's why the Washington State Legislature recently changed the rules as to who can qualify based on maximum household income.
Hi, are you here for your appointment? Take a seat right here.
Can you tell me just who is eligible for the tax exemption program?
The exemption program is available to you, the homeowner, if you've turned 61 during or before the previous year, or are retired from regular gainful employment due to disability at any age. You must have a combined disposable income of $45,708 or less and have lived in your home for more than 6 months during the calendar year.
And will I need to pay any new levies?
If you're making $45,708 or less, then you're exempt from all excess or special levies that require voter approval.
But what if my property's value changes during this application process?
Once approved for a property tax exemption, the value of your residence for tax purposes is frozen as of January 1 of the initial application year. Our department will continue to establish the market value on your property on an annual basis, but taxes would be calculated on the lesser of either the frozen value or the market value.
Well, thanks again. That was good information.
The disposable income you receive during the year in which you apply determines your eligibility. For details on how to calculate disposable income or to learn about allowable deductions, please visit our website at piercecountywa.gov/ATR.
I have a disabled daughter. She is a homeowner who has been struggling. There was much that we didn't know how to do, and the Assessor Treasurer's Office did it for us. The staff is unbelievably helpful. It was easier than I ever expected.
This beneficial program helps to ensure low-income, retired, or disabled people don't have to do without other needs and wants, or even have to move out of their homes because they can't afford their property taxes. Apply today on our website or by calling the Senior Citizen and People with Disabilities Exemption Hotline at 253-798-2169.
And Tommy, that is Pierce County. If our government, I'm saying our government, is a proactive government, they would have done a little bit of homework and realized that a pensioner shouldn't be paying the full brunt of 3%, the same as Prime Minister Rowley, Colin Booth, Faris Alwari, Stuart Young, and Terence Dialsing. Caller, welcome. Sergeant Ramsey, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening.
How are you doing?
To the people of Trinidad and Tobago and to yourself, Ann Slim and Tommy.
Yeah.
But the last, I've been listening for a while. The last call just called in there. He was just trying to be sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
What he was trying to say is that you had a great list of facts that you produced, Tommy. And he was saying that he will pee on that list.
We don't really pay them too much attention.
That's why
we let it go over our head.
Pee on this.
Yeah. That's all right.
He was.
Well, you know, when you're sharing information,
what you were saying was facts.
Right. When you share information to some people, there's a quote that says, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. You know, so we
fine. Y'all was bringing facts.
That's all we do.
To the table.
That's all we do.
He didn't like that too much. So you're gonna have many people like that. So let's keep on doing what y'all doing.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Brother Ramsey.
All right. Have a blessing.
You too, thanks.
COP, welcome.
Good night to you, Wall Street, and good night to you, Uncle Tony.
Good night.
Wall Street, you know them clips and them you play there in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Many people who watching that over, they vex with you for playing them clips, sir. Mothers and fathers of Trinidad and Tobago, how all you feel when Dr. Rowley tell you we're not going to bring back that dreaded property tax, and he's still bringing that dreaded property tax? Do you think that Dr. Rowley, not Dr. Rowley, lie to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Let me tell you something. Any prime minister in any European country lie to the citizens, they will be fired. They will be fired. We accept for the past 9 years, lie from this government. And the PNM supporters who say we is conscious black people, them swallow that lie and say, yes, the man speaking the truth. Wall Street. Wall Street, that is so sad.
It's sad.
The last clip you play there. You know what the lady say? The lady says she have a daughter in a wheelchair. And the property tax people and them will give you some exemption. In the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago over here, Dr. Rowley and the PNM want the senior citizens pay that property tax. And if you can't pay that property tax, and you pass on your property to your daughter, your grandchild, and them inherit that property tax. And if they can't pay that property tax, many people in Port of Spain area, even south side over here, mother and father build nice house. They passed on, leave it for the children. They children like to drink rum and smoke marijuana and play the ass and all kind of thing. They don't even have current in the house, but it's a nice big house. What the government going to do with them house and them? What they're going to do? Try to seize it from them? It have many people have property in Trinidad and spending 6 years, 7, 10 years in jail, waiting to come back out and meet the home over there without lights and water and all them things. That the property is them owner. You feel it fear for government to seize these property from the people and them? That is what black people in Trinidad support a white man, which is not even a Trinidadian born calling, but they agree with everything this man doing, victimizing Indian people, African people, and Dogra people, and we contented with that. We contented with that Wall Street. We had it in Trinidad over here. Had to say, thank God that it have program like this will reveal the facts and even all not even in Trinidad and all the concern so much. This is why I keep away from 91.9 right now, because all 91.9 talk show hosts them doing, they go customer for that. All 91.9 talk show hosts that them doing is spreading lies and propaganda and fooling the future of this country. When you fool the future of this country, it will fall back on you, It will fall back on you, You can't fool the future of this country because you have a contract here, a contract there, a contract over there, and decide to make money and leave the people them hungry. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Wall Street. Wall Street, you know when the partnership was in office, used to be part of the programs. Them days we used to battle and thing.
Yeah.
You used to hear me. You used to hear Tabakit and the UNC activists and them calling in and giving people scholarship, assessing people who in need, all in the Port of Spain area. You ever hear one of them PNM talk shows and them assess their own people?
No, there's beg other people to assist other people. Them just beg people to assist people.
That's so sad. Every year, Christmas time, I can remember Nigel Snipes and all these fellas and them. Christmas time, them calling and people donating this and donating that. And all of a sudden, all them things done. All them things done. They say them PNM talk show hosts now is to take all the nice toys and them and carry it for the children and them and give out them other bad toys and them. That's what they used to be doing. And that is a fact, That is a fact. And if all the person I will call, name who was walking in the studio, who tell me, yes, you woman, is to be taking the nice toys and them and carrying it home.
Who tell you? Who tell you?
What they have to do, they have to say that is a lie. Let them say that is a lie. And I will tell them.
Who tell you?
I will tell them the person who was walking, they tell me, yes, you used to take it. Yes, lady. Yes, lady. You used to take the toys and them and go with it.
Okay. Is that lady?
That's so sad.
Is that lady?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, lady.
She's still working there?
A lady. What you trying to do? Yeah, they're still working there.
After 12? Or before
What you trying to do there? What you trying to do, Wall Street? You feel like it's a PNM? Let them deny that. Let them deny that. Let me say good night to KFC. You sound good on the radio. I think you're becoming more professional. Let me say good night to Kingsley. Your contribution is 10 out of 10. You're on the ball. This next guy from Brooklyn, good night to you. 10 out of 10. And all the callers of them that part of this program, or be part of this program. Share this view. Share this program. Share this program
You're
so
right,
people. Yes,
them fellas and them have to realize that we coming from a different perspective, We coming with facts, We ain't coming and trying
you
to
coming with honesty.
Yeah. We listen. COP, them people just call and say all kind of thing about what shit is at UNC and what shit is that. When I talk about the UNC's facts, it's not fiction. When I talk about the PNM's facts, When I talk about Kamala Prasad reducing the amount of black people living below the poverty line, that is facts.
That is facts, sir.
When I talk about under Rowley for the last 9 years, Prime Minister Rowley, we went from 17%, which Mrs. Kamala Prasad left to 26% of black people living below the poverty line.
Wall Street, that 26% you speak about, that is not your statistic.
I know mine.
That is not your statistic. That is what the government officials them reveal to the citizens of this country.
I didn't make
that is what the ministry reveal.
I didn't make that up.
No, that is what the government officials and them reveal. So you didn't make up that. Them reveal all them statistics. And yet still the PNM talk show host that.
Yeah, listen, before you go. Colin in the parliament told the people of Trinidad and Tobago the property tax was 2.7%. I play it. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
He said it. And when I came and I tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago, Tommy and I, that it was 3%, oh God, they call me, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. You ain't know what Colin but say, you ain't know what Brian man and say when he was in the pastor with the search engine name and program. He too lied to the people and tell them
it's 3 months. It's 3 months the fight you don't have nothing.
Boy, what?
3 months until they realized Wall Street was true. He was honest. And look, the hearing what the minister saying over here now. You know, don't even have a little shame to say we apologize and we're sorry for bringing out that misinformation. You know, don't even have that. You know, a pastor don't even have that shame in it. Come and say, hey, the information we was given was wrong information. That's a pastor. That is a pastor who go to people home and do prayers and expect money after that prayers. Expect money after that prayers in Wall Street. Wall Street, I hear a woman call his program and say, I wanted to do a prayers this month, but my funds really short. I don't have no money. You know what he tells you? He said, yeah, I think you could organize a bag still. I feel you could still organize a bag. I go come. Wall Street, what type of pastors, what type of PNM pastors we have in this country? For the word of God, you could not even say, Mommy, well, all right, I'll come and do that for you. Eh? And we classify these people them as citizens of this country and a pastor in this country. Well, shit, let me tell you something. You know me a part of 91 point. I know you used to hear me saying I had 91.9 fighter blood inside of me.
Correct.
15 and 17 years ago. And you used to hear me saying that.
Yeah.
You know, I feel very ashamed today to be part of 91.9 because it have nothing progressive. It have nothing progressive. Our future of this country will not learn, and I know management and they will vex with me. That is my friend. That is my friend.
But let me say this. I am going to say this for the first time. The program Tommy and I had a 91.9 was the most progressive program 91.9 ever had on 91.9.
And it should have never moved. It should have never moved.
Progressive program. I'm not going to speak for Tommy. I am speaking for myself. The most fact-driven program that 91.9 ever had and didn't come with misleading information.
And also the most sensible listeners. Yeah. Also the most sensible listeners and callers.
Correct is right.
Program could have politics in it, but let it be a paid political program so we will know, hey, that's a paid program. They're entitled to lie a little bit, use a little political lies for the country. But to have a free political program with propaganda, what you doing there? What you doing there?
We don't even know if it's really free.
All the youth them that fail common entrance.
Yeah.
You see the 70-something% of youths that fail common entrance. With those kind of program, you make it harder for those youths and them. You make it harder for those youths and them because they get nothing constructive.
Yeah, man.
Well, she have a good night. Uncle Tony, I just like when Uncle Tony, he just stay quiet when I talk. Like all Uncle Tony do. He do intervene a little bit. He just say, Kunji, COP, how was your day? How you going? He just stay quiet like a lamb. Uncle Tony, you have a nice day. Remember, I gave that name Uncle Tony. You come here, Tony. I give you Uncle Tony. Thank you.
Okay, Kunji. Pleasant night.
You know, Tommy, COP get that out of me, you know. The program that you and I had, Tommy, was the most progressive program. And it appears that some people didn't want such of a progressive program. I'll leave it right there. I'll leave it there. Tommy, them basement have heat, Captain Singh say.
No
Walls,
worries.
I get nothing. Captain Singh said, I disagree with them pensioners are paying them night. It's time they pay the pipers. Denise G said that was a prank call. JB Harper, good evening. JB Harper, not a good day for P&M licks in Trinidad and Tobago, licks in Tobago. Yeah, boy. You know, Tommy, we have been the rallying cry for property tax. And let me play this last one before I go. Because the minister in the Ministry of Finance, Brian Manning, went on a program and told the people that Trinidad will have one of the lowest property tax in the Western Hemisphere. Let me repeat that. Brian Manning, the minister in the Ministry of Finance, went on a program at 91.9 and told the people that Trinidad and Tobago had one of the lowest tax in the Western Hemisphere. And he forget that America was in the Western Hemisphere. Totally forget. But take a listen to this.
How is residential property tax calculated in New York and New Jersey? Property tax on residents is a tax levied by local governments on the value of real estate properties. The tax rate and assessment methods vary by state and municipality. In general, property tax is calculated by multiplying the assessed value of the property by the tax rate. In New York, the property tax rate is determined by the local government, such as the city, town, village, or school district. The assessed value of the property is based on a percentage of its market value, which is determined by the local assessor. The percentage of market value used for assessment is called the level of assessment or equalization rate. In New Jersey, the property tax rate is also set by the local government, but the assessed value of the property is based on its market value as of October 1st of the pre-tax year. The market value is determined by the County Board of Taxation, which conducts a revaluation of all properties every 10 years or less. To compare the property tax burden between New York and New Jersey, one can look at the effective property tax rate, which is the amount of property tax paid as a percentage of the property value. According to a report by Wallet Hub, New Jersey has the highest effective property tax rate in the nation, at 2.49%, while New York ranks 6th, at 1.69%. However, these rates may vary significantly by county and municipality within each state.
Okay.
They want to talk to us. And this is, listener, it is based on assessed value. You understand?
Yep.
I mean, listen, and here is the last one.
Trinidad and Tobago's property tax system has been criticized for being regressive and oppressive. The system, which imposes a fixed rate of 3% of the annual rental value on all properties, disproportionately burdens low-income households. Regressive taxes are those that place a greater burden on low-income households than on high-income households. This is because low-income households tend to spend a larger proportion of their income on taxes than high-income households. In the case of Trinidad and Tobago's property tax, low-income households are more likely to rent their homes than to own them. This means that they are more likely to pay the tax, as the tax is levied on the rental value of the property. The regressive nature of Trinidad and Tobago's property tax system is particularly evident in areas with extreme poverty rates. For example, in the Penal, Deeb, San Juan, Morvant, and Laventil communities, poverty rates are estimated to be between 20% and 30%. In these communities, the additional financial burden imposed by the property tax can push residents further into poverty. In contrast, neighboring countries such as Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Barbados have adopted property tax systems with lower rates. These countries have recognized the need for a fairer and more equitable approach to property taxation, considering the varying economic circumstances of their populations. By implementing lower tax rates, they ensure that the burden is shared more proportionally, providing some relief to those with limited financial means. Critics argue that a one-size-fits-all approach to property tax, where both rich and poor individuals are subject to the same 3% rate, perpetuates inequality. Wealthy individuals, including influential government figures like Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, Minister of Finance Colm Imbert, Minister of Energy Stuart Young, and Minister of Local Government Faris Al-Rawi, possess significantly higher incomes and assets than the average citizen. Treating them the same as struggling residents of Penal, Deeb, San Juan, Morvant, and Laventille ignores the glaring disparities in wealth distribution within the country. Advocates for tax reform propose a progressive system, where the tax burden is scaled based on income or property value. This would ensure that those who can afford to contribute more do so, while simultaneously providing relief to low-income households. By implementing a more progressive property tax system, Trinidad and Tobago could alleviate the heavy burden faced by its most vulnerable citizens and move towards a fairer distribution of resources. Efforts to address the regressive nature of the property tax should also focus on comprehensive measures to tackle poverty, improve access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. A holistic approach that combines tax reform with social welfare programs would be essential in uplifting marginalized communities and reducing the economic disparities that exacerbate the burden of property tax. As discussions on tax reform continue, it is crucial for policymakers and citizens alike to recognize the need for a fair and progressive property tax system in Trinidad and Tobago. By addressing the regressive and oppressive nature of the current 3% annual rental value tax and implementing measures to uplift the most vulnerable, the country can strive towards a more equitable and inclusive society.
Yep. There we go. You see, Tommy, they don't want to listen, but we're going to bring the information.
They'll be forced to listen.
There we go. There we go. They will be forced to listen. And Tommy, here is the difference, Tommy. You see, we don't pick up an issue and drop it after 9 days.
That's it.
We don't, and I'm saying to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we don't pick up an issue and drop it after 9 days. Look how long we're doing that property tax, and look how easily we could bring that back to you again that we've been bringing to you. Because we have the people of Trinidad and Tobago at that. We don't care if you're UNC, PNM, NTA, ILP. Whoever you are, you are. That's okay. Yeah, KFC.
Good night, Mr. Wash it. Good night, Mr. Tommy. I know the daily crunch time here.
Yeah.
Mr. Wash it.
Yeah.
When I come back at 91.9, I decay the plan and by. They'll bust their throat or what?
No. They'll not nothing to do with it.
Come back, man, because my boy Kingsley say he want to come back at 91.9.
Don't worry. Things go work out.
I must say good night to Tunji, Kingsley, and this is not the right thinking citizen. Mr. Washington told me have a blessed night. Mr. Washington.
Yeah, man.
You too.
Uncle Tommy all the place making a call. Is it cold?
Nice.
Warm, boy.
Nice temperature.
You warm. You see piano on the back there?
I feel like I sit to go for Chumaka Clavantino. You want to pull about that property tax, boy?
I warn them, boy. I warn them. We warn them.
Yeah.
We warn them, boy, KFC, boy.
Yeah, nobody come out and stand up. No.
No. Now all of a sudden, notice with immediate effect, the property tax payment suspended until further notice. Assigned in the Ministry of Finance.
But as I would not for the poor disadvantaged isn't that Trinidad and Tobago?
Correct. Let Colin Button them pay the 3% tax. Don't let them people pay 1% or less. That is it.
Let Colin Button and Faris Arian instead of pay tax first. Now what are taxing the people for God don't sleep, you know?
God don't sleep.
Yeah, have a blessed night, man. Love.
Bless. Yeah.
Blessed night.
Yeah, Tommy. God don't sleep and shoot, man.
Nope, you don't wear pajamas either.
Tommy, I don't know if you could sleep at night, boy, to know that you are a millionaire. and the same tax you paying, them poor black disadvantaged people in Lavantil, Caroni, Pinal, Movan, and environs have to pay the same property percentage as you, boy? Yes, Ethiopia.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
Just give me the opportunity to say good night to the Beatom crew. I always forget Anderson. I always forget Anderson. Good night to the Beatom crew and good night to Anderson and the crew. But good night to the Beatom. All the crews and them. Good night. Thank you, Wall Street.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Good night.
Yeah, boy. Me, boy. So, folks, put closing
Yes,
comments in the
time.
chat. JB Harper, Denise G, Capitan, Pearl, if you're still there. Bizram, Joan, Ken John, Daryl, Darren, Caribbean Soul, Anderson,
Takesha,
if you're still there. Takesha, Nadia.
Nadia.
And yeah, me Jean Julian, but like your wife take back your phone, boy. Curtis Montresor, Patricia Hutchinson. The wife take back the phone from me and Jean, boy. Man get iPhone 15 and then they just take it back there, so. You know, Capitan is something else. He say, Walls, them Indian in Caroni can pay taxes. They have rum money. Capitan, my UNC partner, boy. Let's go for the break. We'll be right back. Stick and stay. It's in the village with yours truly, truly, Professor Walsh, Uncle Tommy, on WZYE 95.9 FM. We're going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back after this. Put your closing comments in the chat, folks. Put your closing comments in the chat. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM. With your hosts, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to In the Village with your hosts, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM.
What's happening? This your boy Lil John. Hey, yo, this the Yin Yang Twins.
You're listening to the sounds of...
And we doing it real big with my dog.
In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Yeah!
This is Travis Scott, 21-7.
You're listening to In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
What it do is the baby and we in the mix.
There you have it. It's In the Village with yours truly, Professor Walshit and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. So, Tommy, I think we Capitan, what we do a little Walls. Do a little investigation. I want to know the medium average property taxes from Scarborough, Tobago to Crown Point. I want to know the comparative to that of Port of Spain, East-West Corridor, and Central Trinidad. You know, Capitan, that's a good question, you know.
Very interesting.
That's a good point, Capitan, reason there, you know. But we go talk about that next time, Capitan. Yeah, we go talk about that. Go ahead, Tommy. Closing comments?
Anger is a valid emotion. It's only bad when it takes control and makes you do things you don't want to do. I'll say not want to, but you don't need to do. And those are Ellen Hopkins' words. Like I always say, every session, you have to be the one, the man in the mirror, making the change. However, if you look in that mirror and you don't like what you see, do not blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Stay strong. Stay safe. Till we meet again. Good night.
Thank you, Tommy. Let me play these
Thank
two
you.
voice notes I get here. Let me see what's your piece.
All shit on the volume, we are hearing nothing.
Okay.
Raise your volume, we are hearing nothing.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. So let me get my closing comment. No, I gotta go over here. Closing comment. Believe good things are on the way. Believe good things are on the way. From where I said this is it, the clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you will respond to who you become. I think, Tommy, we're just going to make this song our going out song. You know? This is a sad place. What do you think? Folks, good night. Take care. See you on Sunday. On Sunday Talk, let's talk politics on WZYE 95.9 FM.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, let me read.
Stop.
Let me read Capitan comment. Capitan says, how to rule a country. Subjugate the people. The prince must be firm and keep the people under pressure. Nico Machiavelli, the prince. Okay, what buddy?
Yeah, the prince. That's from the prince.
Yeah. Sophisticated.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting you up. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderator send another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the F out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. Now with the love, with the vibes, with the hope. Now tell me something, how we really want we cope. When the children breathing in too much gun smoke. And the Coast Guard can never see a boat. You're sounding like some goats when they come looking for votes. Sit to empty promises, reading like a horoscope. Justice for sale in a fat envelope. Politically, all the answers is a joke. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderator send another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. It doesn't matter the religion. color, the creed, or the race. It's our responsibility to take care of our place.